Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be filming a YouTube video. Today's video is going to be a how it was like being a varsity athlete in high school. Yes, you got it right. You heard by the title. I'm going to be doing this video today. So grab your popcorn, grab whatever you want, and let's get started. So this is geared towards everyone who wants to be a varsity athlete or is really interested in my experiences, because there has been a lot of experiences. So first I'm going to be telling you guys what what varsity sport I participated in. And yeah, so I participated in indoor and outdoor varsity track for my team, for my school. So I'm going to be telling you guys the pros and cons of being a part of a varsity team, and is it worth it in the end. So first I'm going to be telling you guys my experiences. So this all started junior year. The summer before junior year, I was participating in the Bay State Games. I was really a passion of mine to lift weights and do exercising and stuff like that. I loved doing that. And my dad purchased me a shot put. That was a men's shot put, and I practiced throwing that in the yard. And when I went to the Bay State Summer Games, that was my first time competing in the Bay State Summer Games. I threw the shot put, and I was throwing a heavier ball. I didn't know my dad and I did not know there was a different size for men's and women's. So I started throwing a women's shot put ball, and I threw it pretty far. So if you guys want to know about any of my experiences for the Bay State Games, that's besides the point. I'm just telling you guys how I got started. So it was indoor. It was the fall time. I was just practicing and stuff like that, lifting weights. And when the winter time, I never knew we had an indoor track team in the first place. So I grew the balls to be a part of the indoor varsity track team. So I went to the meeting, was fine and dandy and stuff like that. I was like, this is the real shit, because I'm not going to show up to this meeting and not participate. So I show up to the meeting. We had to do concussion stuff like that, and it was fine and dandy. So for the concussion thing, if you have to take that, literally, if you're going to do a sport at your school, just keep on putting copy and pasting your name in different dates and stuff like that, so you don't have to keep on doing that stupid stuff over and over again. Because it took me about a week to do it, because it's a bunch of videos. You can't skip anything. You have to take a quiz at the end, blah blah blah. So yeah, I did that. First practice, I came in with this what's it called, zip up, pull over zip up from the Bay State Games, because I got third or fourth, I think third, and I got this thing where it just says Bay State Summer Games. So I wore that. We were doing crunches, and the coach was like, what are, you participate in the Bay State Games? I was like, yeah, in the summertime. She was like, what do you participate in? I was like, in shot put. And they were like, we need a shot putter on the team. How much do you throw? I was like, 26 or 28 for my highest. And they were like, oh my gosh, we need a shot putter. So I went to every practice, every game. Every meet. I went to every practice, every meet, additional meets that they signed me up for, and I also signed up for myself. So if you guys want to do that stuff, then go ahead. If you want to get a varsity letter and be a part of the varsity team, go ahead and do that, because you want to it doesn't matter what kind of sports team you're doing, you want to participate in different things, whether that's an AAU team and stuff like that. But also you have to know the rule and speculations for participating in an outside team. Varsity rules, MIAA rules, is that you cannot participate in I'm pretty sure you can't put anything over a varsity team. So stuff like that without having a note or something like that. So you need to know those speculations as well. So it was the first meet. We barely practiced or anything like that because it was only me as a shot putter on the team. I threw pretty well and stuff like that. So I'm going to be telling you guys my first con of a varsity sport. You have to make time for yourself to practice your craft, whatever you're going to do. Track is very different. If you want to get into track, that's totally fine. If you want to be a shot putter, if you want to be a discus thrower, if you want to be a long jumper, if you want to be a javelin thrower, you have to make time for yourself, because normally the coaches are very geared towards the runners, and they're not really geared towards the what's it called? It's called field events. So if you guys are doing a field event, make sure you guys do extra practice, which I didn't do. So I was kind of relying on myself. I practiced 5 to 6 times a week. It came to the meets and stuff like that. I came in like 4th or 5th place or something because it was really good players. Throwers at that time, so I came in 3rd or 4th, and I was a junior and I was very nervous or whatever. So basically what I did to get my varsity letter was I went to every practice, every meet. I filled into spots. I did the 4x2, which you guys don't know what a 4x2 is. It's 4 runners and they do a 200-meter run around the track, and that is a relay. I did that. I did the 50-meter dash or run, whatever you want to call it. And then I also did shot put. So it was coming to outdoor. I was like, oh, I want to do that as well. I'm just gonna for track, it does not matter. It doesn't matter if you're good or not. It's still gonna blend in into the springtime, and you're not obligated to do spring track. It is just a thing to get you ready for summer or whatever. So it kind of blended in with that. So I did outdoor track because I wanted to do discus. I wanted to try discus. I was trash at discus, but it gets better. So another pro, if you're going to do any type of track, do outdoor. It's so much better. The competition is so much better because most likely everyone is doing basketball and whatever you do in the winter. Basketball and stuff like that. And you don't see a lot of familiar faces for outdoor track, but you see some. So you talk to people in line and stuff like that. So that was that. So if you are doing track, you're kind of obligated to stay at the meets until the end. If you guys don't know about a track meet, this can last for the whole entire day. So if you're not with that, I don't know what to tell you. But if you're not, track takes time. If you are a field event person, athlete, you're normally at the beginning of the meets and then you work your way towards the end. But also it's really good to stay at the meets so your coaches know that, hey, they're staying at the meets, they're cleaning up and stuff like that, and they're a really good team player. So I stayed the whole entire meet the first time, my first meet, and stuff like that. So stay at the meets, participate, clap for your teammates. That's how that was probably one of the number one reasons why I got my varsity letter on my first year, was I participated in everything. I volunteered to clean up and stuff like that, and stay extra, give the my teammates pep talks and stuff like that, even though we were in different races, events, races, whatever you call it. Also, another con for track, especially, it is very cliquey. So if you're not in a race and stuff like that, if you're not in the 50, all those people that are doing 50s are a clique. But also, sometimes the throwers are in with the 50-meter dash people. The long races are with each other. It's very cliquey, so you want to find your niche, whatever type of thing. If you want to run with them on the weekends, train with them on the weekends, that's perfectly fine. That's how you get to know people, especially if you are a freshman trying to do it. So you are not declared a varsity athlete until you get your varsity letter. Even though track is a varsity level sport, you will not get treated as a varsity level person, athlete, if you are immature about what you're doing. So you want to be very mature about what you're doing for that. So I took track seriously and stuff like that. I took it seriously, but you want to take it seriously, especially if you're really dedicated, and you can't just be there for a varsity letter. You can't. You need to participate in a varsity sport if you are passionate about what you're doing. So you need to train outside of your training days. You can't just show up to practice from Monday to Thursday expecting to get good, because you're not going to get good. So I trained 5 to 6 to 7 times a week, and I did that for about 5 months and stuff like that. So I dedicated a lot of my time to track as well. The meets are about 3 to 5 hours long, depending on how long the races are, how many heats there are. I can get into that another video, but it gets long and tiring. I recommend to bring snacks and stuff like that, because you're going to be up and down doing things and stuff like that. But also it's good to stay, especially to know your stats, what you got, how long you threw, what your time was, to kind of get a feel of what you did at that meet and how you can do better. Your coaches are going to want to know your stats, because it's not for a bad thing. They just want to know your stats, how you're doing, and they'll put you in a different race, or just say, hey, I recommend you not to do this race or not to do this event for this next time. So they want to know your stats, because most likely they do not know, because they're not judging your thing. So there's either 1 or 2 judges judging your event. One person is measuring your time if you're doing shot put or discus or anything javelin. They're measuring your height, they're measuring your length of your throw. There's one person taking the stuff down, and there's rules and regulations to throwing that. So also you need to check in with your coaches to know the rules and regulations, or just look it up yourself, or just watch your sport on TV. So that's what I did, and this is what a varsity letter looks like. Normally you see basketball players, football players, lacrosse players put little pins on here, but mine is just plain. I just hang it up over there with all my athletic stuff. So yeah, this is what it looks like. I was super ecstatic of this, and a lot of people knit sew it onto their jacket. So I got this, and then also for my first season, the last regular season meet, it was a place where you get medals and trophies and stuff like that. And this specific one, we were just getting medals. So I have this ribbon. It is for girls shot play. I got 3rd place, and then also I got a medal. And you're probably like, oh my gosh, you're a mediocre thrower, you're a mediocre runner. I really don't care, because honestly, a lot of people don't know this, but every single meet you go to, there's not going to be medals, and there's not going to be trophies, and there's not going to be ribbons, honey, because I've been to about 20 plus meets and stuff like that every single season, and there was not medals and ribbons at every single one. There's going to be ones at state meets and stuff like that, but the expectations are going to be high. People think that there's going to be a lot of expectations and realities for throwers, but you guys don't realize that throwers, it is really hard to even be in the top 5 pool. Top 1 through 5. It's really hard to get into that pool, especially if you're getting more out of state, out of the coast. It's going to be really hard to do that. So I worked my tail off, and a varsity letter really shows how I worked my tail off for the whole entire year. Even though it's just some letters, I just worked my tail off for the whole entire year, and it showed. And also, for getting your varsity letter, you have to and normally the captains and the coaches deliberate and see who they want to become a varsity athlete. It doesn't matter how long you do this for. You have to get your varsity letter before you get your varsity jacket. So I'm going to show you guys after. So the whole summer before senior year, I was practicing and stuff like that. I did Bay State games as well again. And my goal for this season was to try to get back into the 26 to 28 length. And for outdoor this season, if we had an outdoor season for track this year, for senior year, my goal was going to be 30 feet even. So I was right at the tail. I was 26, 27, 28. So that was my thing. I did not throw lower than 24 for outdoor. I won the first in New England for my division, whatever you want to call it. For shot put, I threw 26 and a half. 26 feet and 26 feet 6 inches and a half. So I threw that, and yeah, so I was ecstatic. And I was working with a coach, which I failed to mention where he works or whatever, but I was working with a coach for shot put. And then also when the season was over, I was doing nonstop. So I was kind of traveling with his team and also my sister's team, because she does track as well. Amazing athlete. But we were traveling and stuff like that to different meets. My indoor did not really stop. Like, my indoor was stopped at about around February, early March. So that's when my indoor season ended. I was doing a bunch of different miscellaneous meets. I had to sign up for I had to get my coach's approval for it, as well as who was going to take me to the meets, because I didn't want to bring a car or anything like that. So I just drove on a bus to the meets. So that's how you really do it there. You really want to go to different miscellaneous meets, compete. And if you're for a different sport, for basketball or soccer or stuff like that, I just have to recommend for you guys, in your off season, do AAU teams, because that's how you get exposure from colleges. If you want to continue to do continue to do your sport in college. So yeah, I just recommend you guys doing a lot of stuff in the off season. I know a lot of good softball, football, basketball players that go to my school. They are going to amazing schools on a scholarship for that specific sport, and I could not be any happier. I love them all so much. So yeah, when you're on a varsity sport, a positive is you get a lot of exposure. Because even though you go to a small Catholic private school, my school is kind of large. In Worcester, it's kind of large, but you get a lot of exposure, so that's a positive. A lot of people want to work with you. A lot of coaches want to work with you. But yeah. So I got a varsity jacket this year, and like I mentioned earlier, you cannot get a varsity jacket until you get a varsity letter. So that's it. Doesn't matter. Coaches do not care how long it takes you to get a varsity jacket or varsity letter. They're going to let you mold into the athlete they want you to be for their team and stuff like that. So I got this jacket. It looks very, very nice. So this is my varsity jacket. So I'm going to tell you guys some reasons why you should join a track team at your school. The number one reason you should join a track team at your school, whether that's indoor and outdoor, it's very diverse. Very, very diverse. It doesn't mean the race aspect, but it's very diverse. All skin types, body types. There's so many different body types in track. You guys look at me. On the thick side, but I love lifting weights, and If you are, it doesn't matter if you lift weights or you don't lift weights, they have a spot for you. Honestly, on the first meeting, I felt super, super welcomed by everyone. Especially it was my first time doing track and stuff like that. I built so many new connections with people, a lot of underclassmen I love, and yeah, that's how I build connections. The second reason why you should join track, it is a very good learning experiences, and also it can get you in shape for anything that you want. So if you're eating healthy and you're doing track every single day for 5 or 6 times a week, you're getting a lot of good cardio and stuff like that. It doesn't matter what event you're doing, you're going to do some form of cardio, and also you're going to do some lifting. If you're a long distance runner, they want you to do lifting but not as much. But if you are a sprinter or a person that does a relay event, you want to lift weights as well. If you guys want me to know, do any lifting videos or something like that for track especially, let me know. But yeah, my experience as a track athlete has been ups and downs. You're probably like, oh, like I said before, you're probably like, oh, you're a mediocre thrower. A lot of the meets you go to, not gonna have medals. So if you're really just in there for the medals, then it's not good for you. In the beginning, like junior year, I was like, I'm gonna go to every meet and I'm gonna get every medal. Went to every meet, didn't have a medal. So like honestly, when you go to the meets, they're most likely they're gonna have the same exact judges, the same exact people. I feel like more of me now is like the exposure and getting to know new people, and especially all my other friends. I met so many different people from different schools, from different states and cities, that are going to college as well. So I'm super, super excited for that exposure. Yeah, so if you guys want me to do kind of video like that, how to get exposure from that, because if you want to do a sport, if you want to get exposure like that, like media clout or whatever like that, join a sport, join track. So yeah, I'm super blessed for all the opportunities I got from doing track, and honestly, it has been the best experience of my life. Honestly, junior and senior year would not be better without me doing track. So it was honestly the most best experience I could ever ask for. And honestly, if you are thinking of doing track, do track. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Let me know how you guys think. Let me know if you have any extra questions on this, because this is a very broad topic and I kind of did the points and stuff like that. So some tips I have for you in order to get a varsity jacket or varsity letter is to work hard, every opportunity. It doesn't matter if you don't have time for it. Say yes to the opportunity. Say yes to the opportunity. Do the opportunity. Just do everything that has been put in front of you. Do the race. Go to the meet. Stay extra time at the meet. Just do everything that they want you to do. They're only there to help you. They are mentors as well. And also to be a varsity athlete, I don't know what happens to your at your school, but for my school, at least for varsity athletes, you have to have a B plus. A B and above. If you have a C plus on a progress report, they will pull you aside and they'll be like, hey, what's happening? You need academic help. If you have low than a C lower than a C for a report card, they're going to automatically expel you from the team or suspend you from the team or something like that. It's different from Catholic and public and private schools, but for my private school, at least, you have to have a B and above in order to stay on the team. And when you're a senior, for track, you don't really have to stay the whole entire time for the meets like I did. I did not stay the whole time because I had lots of tests the next day. Thursday and Fridays were all the times I had tests. So the meets were on Wednesday and I had to study for a test the next day. So that's what I did. So I hope you guys like this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I really like making this video. And a little disclaimer, before I end this video off, it is my experience. A lot of people, different people have different experiences for their varsity, for the varsity sport. For me at least, I had my experiences. There was a lot of ups and downs and stuff like that. And the only downside I have for track, it is a very cliquey sport, especially for your event. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. We're almost at the 50 subscribers. If we hit 50 subscribers soon, I will be doing a giveaway and you will not want to miss that giveaway. And yeah, if you guys want to collab in any sort of way, my socials are down below. You can DM me via Instagram or snap me via Snapchat. So they're always down below if you want to collab or whatever. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.